Yes. Welcome back, or welcome to Absolute Dins. It has been a while. It's been far too long, but I had to get back into it. I missed it. I've missed you lot. Well, most of you. Yes, I've got a new camera, so I can record again. Today, we are making pulled pork on my Weber barbecue, not sponsored, using the snake method, which I will explain later. Let's get on with it. Maybe I've still got the head spinny footage, maybe. Let's have a look. So you might be wondering why I'm not actually in the kitchen at this present moment in time. I actually recorded this over 2 separate locations. It's been the same location. So I'm actually recording the instructions verbally post-cook and post-eat as well. So, right, grab yourself a little jar or mixing bowl. Add garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne pepper, smoky paprika, bit of coriander powder, bit of cumin powder, then a big old load of black pepper, then sea salt, then add some brown sugar, soft brown sugar, doesn't matter if it's light or dark, just get it in there, lid on, shake that bad boy right up. A little thumbs up for victory. Now it's time for the actual pork itself. Now I'm using a pork shoulder joint, or it's sometimes called a pork butt joint. But it's nothing to do with the horses, Chad. It's nothing to do with the arse of the cow. Pig. Fuck. Well, it has been a while, isn't it? It's nothing to do with that. It's just the shoulder. I've taken the skin off, left some of the fat, and whacked it into a tray, which is what we're going to do now. So grab yourself a tray, take your pork, slap it down, then pat that dry with some kitchen towel or kitchen roll. Remove any wicked bling you have. Then sprinkle it very, very generously, breaking up any clumps of sugar that still remain. Then give your meat a good old rub.
Yeah, boy.
Do it on each side. Get all that gear all up in there. You can see that little fat cap there. That's fine. That'll render right off. Now break that up. Now you can see that is covered deliciously so. Get any extra bits of the rub wherever you can. And lift up any porky flaps. Fuck's sake. As I mentioned previously, we're doing this on the barbecue. I'm doing a kettle barbecue, so a round one. And what we're doing, we're using the snake method. Basically what that is you put 2 coals around the outside, and then an extra coal on top in a snake formation, and then you're smoking woods 1/3 of the way around, and then you light the very beginning of it, and then it slowly cooks for a long period of time. I don't know why I've just told you this. Please watch the next minute or so for more information. Right, take your bag of coals and whack them in to the oven, barbecue. Then set your coals out in a 2x2 formation, as shown here. I'm just going to speed this up in a second for speed. Now, each level of these coals, so these first two, probably last for about 15-20 minutes each before it starts lighting the next one. So in this cook, total time, you're looking at maybe having about 12 hours worth of coal. When I did mine, it did last about 10.5 hours. I did have to add extra in. And then I do an extra layer on top. So a single, 2 layers, So 2 on the bottom, 1 on top. And then I put out, the smoking wood goes down. And then that's it for the day. So the previous steps can all be done the day before. You want to do the barbecue the day before, unless you want to wake up extra early to set it up. So the pork's in the fridge, I'm doing bits overnight, barbecue set up. Let's go to the next day.
82 kilometers later.
Morning. It's about 10 to 8. The day after planning a wedding where there was a person in a gorilla costume. But I'm gonna go light the barbecue now. So in our chimney starter, we've got about, I think it's like 10 cubes of charcoal, briquettes, if you will. Now I'm gonna enter them into the barbecue itself, and then strategically place each of those smoking hot coals at the start of our snake.
I'm a snake.
I've sped this up for your convenience. Now, I've grabbed a pan and I fill that with some boiling water. This is our setup pretty much done. Now I'm going to grab the grill grate, and then we are going to place our pork right in the center, so away from the direct heat. You can see in the corner of the smoke in there, I've got a temperature probe for the pork itself, the internal temperature, and a temperature probe that goes on the grate itself, and that measures the ambient temperature in the barbecue itself. Now with a lot of slow cooking and smoking, there's a lot of waiting around, so the next shot is 4 hours later. Try not to lift the lid of the barbecue as much as you can. If you want to know how the snake's doing, you could just feel the heat radiating from where it should be at that point. So yeah. So 4 hours later, you can see that the snake is about half burnt out. So we've got half left, obviously, and then just brush it with some apple cider vinegar on the crust, and then you can leave this again for another couple of hours. Now, this got to about 170 degrees Fahrenheit. And so I decided to wrap it, because there's a thing called the stall when you're cooking slow meats where it just stops for a few hours. So I put the meat, which was very hot, into the foil, added some barbecue sauce, homemade of course, and then we just wrap it up. And then we just wrap it up like a little present, a meaty, porky present, and whack it back onto the barbecue. Now this went for another hour or so. As you can see, the temperature has hit 200 degrees Fahrenheit, so we're ready to pull. And here we go. Look at that. You can see that pink smoke ring. Yes, please. Time to try it. So there we have it. First video back in months and months and months. It's a slightly different one today because I wasn't speaking to the camera while cooking. Well, that will come back soon. This one took over 2 days, but it was bloody worth it. Once again, thank you for coming back. I know I left it too long, but these things happen. That pork was fantastic. We had it in like pulled pork sandwiches with coleslaw, pickles, bread, and it was fucking quality. You could have it on its own, in wraps, on a shoe. I don't care, just give it a go if you're that way inclined. Anyway, that's your lot. Get out of it. Oh, it's cold.